Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovating, and amazing Propagandacast from the host Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero site defender of the fatherland, off to another glorious, exciting 1v1. This time on Crossroads, Winter North. It is Theodosios fighting for the British Army, the Commonwealth, the Guards Armour Division here with tactical support featuring the raid sections, command vehicle designations, air resupply operations, fortification posts, and the crocodiles. And south it is the Pope fighting here for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, here with the 116th Panzer Division Vinhund, with Jaeger infantry with ambush training, Jaeger light infantry upgrades, Jaeger command squads, light artillery barrages, and the Stuka anti-tank strafe there with infantry, pack, and Panther-fast bulletins. We got a raid section start here for Theodosios versus Gunnet MD42 there for Pope. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my paid supporters, champions, and heroes, one and all. Other people can join their last year's ranks by pledging on Patreon, or they can donate by PayPal. Links in the description. Finding, commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing is also appreciated. So, sectioning up here for the British Empire in the east and the west side. Raid sectioning up there towards the centre carve point there, equipped with their ghillie suits and well, you know, very appropriate camouflage for the winter. Well, we look dashing at least, don't we? Shut up, Robert. Second raid section out here. Raid sections are basically slightly, well, bolted section, but they don't quite get the same bonus as the regular section do. On the other hand, they can be upgraded with double Vickers machine guns to get Molotov sprint and can lay down mines, so they're fairly good nonetheless. Either way, we'll have to see how many goes over them. This is definitely a pretty rare British opening. I mean, most British players don't even bother with this. And now we've got Theodosios like going for a total of 3 of them. That is a pretty heavy infantry start here versus Pope. We'll have to see how Pope responds to this. He's also going fairly broad himself, trying to secure the centre here versus the British. Eastern fuel point there secured by him. He's also worth noting, Pope hasn't gone for like any of the fuel points sort of particularly directly. It's almost like he's playing it like it's the non-winter version, in which case he's going to be in for a rude surprise. More raid section, they're heading westwards. Eastwards, we've also got one raid section there for Theodosios. Will he go for a fourth one? Probably not, but never say never. I mean, he's already going far off the typical British metagame that, who knows, he might be planning even more. But there you go, shots fired here with raid section as the Grenadiers. Start the building there, we got the raid section on top of the Grenadiers being surrounded. There we go, first kill there. Lewis drops there in the snow. Morgan is running before joining as well. They're forcing away the raid section, pushing it for the eastern fuel point. Needs to get more troops over there. Needs to connect the fuel point for that matter rapidly, because on a map like this, Theodosios is already getting 39 fuel per minute versus just the 16 of Pope. This is something that can lead to a very smashingly big resource advantage here for the British player, and that's not something Pope should be particularly encouraging. So I definitely feel like in terms of like capping order, that's a bit of a dangerous one. In particular versus the British, who already have like some of the fastest and most efficient tacking overall. This definitely is a very risky move by Pope. We got raid section up and regular section here, pushing on that eastern fuel point as Pope is looking to seize it for the German army. Machine gun to act on the cornerstone here, preventing any easy British passage, though might have been actually popping into that one. But there goes section, raid section, now Grenadiers going to flank them here. We'll need to take up soon Mr. Pope as well, unless he's planning a 4th Grenadier squad. Raid section on the move here for the British Army, going for the other cut point now. Very good, but there you go. Leaving the raid section dealing with the Germans, moving on to the fuel point there, flanking them with another raid section, but again out in the open, the Grenadiers will do some damage. There you go. Quick Molotov here. Theodosios does not miss a moment here. Machine gun repositioning, realizing here that he's repositioned poorly. And there you go, Grenadiers right as the machine gun again was not able to support here Theodosios. We got a medic here for him to provide healing for his raid sections. No tech yet for Pope. You would figure that would be a priority. Raid section we're going to use here. Needs more support up there. Machine gun falling back here for Pope. Medic's almost done. Gun is falling back here. Needs more support in the west around that carve point. Needs to do it schnell. Raid section up the eastern side here. We'll have to see when he goes for the weapon racks. And again, I imagine he'll want to equip them with the double Vickers Ks. Thanks for the raid section being all well. We need to retreat that now. We got more gunnies arriving, but again, Pope is sort of a bit all over the place at the moment, which makes it much easier for Theodosios just like push ahead here, since he's not encountering like any significant amount of resistance here for Pope. And again, part of this is just this awkward capping order that Pope chose to go with in the early game here versus the British. Medics at the ready, nothing further on there in Theodosios' base. Troops reinforcing, bunker up there. Definitely get some of these gunners going instead of just having to wait for the medics, in particular that one I don't think needs really to be healed up. Again, the priority right now should be gaining back map, because again his opponents are always just going to, like, you know, speed ahead here of Pope at a rapid pace. And that's not something, again, Pope should be encouraging. Machine remaining here static in the centre. We got the pyrotechnic supplies up there to find with the artillery support, and of course a bit of reconnaissance element on top of the raid sections. Still no tech there for Pope. Definitely needs to get that going rapidly. Got smoke in the centre. Thumbs up there to Theodosios. Very good use of the smoke flare ability. Excellent. And that's of course you have the Germans, in which case your appreciation of that might be a bit opposite. There you go, nice funky meanwhile, but there you go, triple gun moving in there, and we see there Theodosios just hits the retreat button here, probably concerned that again if he sticks around to fight, the machine's just going to be positioned, and then it's going to be a complete rout anyway. So rather than waste manpower and time, he just hits the retreat button. Tactically, I think that's very smart. We got Invictus machine away for Theodosios, troop reinforcing healing. Ground loss on victory point, ground the eastern one. Pope in on the counter offensive, very good for him. Still no tech though. Definitely a bit concerning, particularly like Theodosios goes for a fast armoured car here. Well, relatively fast armoured car at this point. I mean, Pope's going to be having a very hard time dealing with it, so I'm a bit surprised that he's taking up now, but a bit surprised at that. I mean, obviously he does have the anti-tank and production bulletin, but even that feels a bit, you know, pushing it. Though so far Theodosios is not making any sound, and of course, considering the resource lead, considering the map already, he wouldn't be, I think, entirely out of his mind to just rush out like for tanks. That would not be completely insane. In fact, that would probably be very strong there. Though, of course, that means he needs to get the fuel points a bit more consistently under control again. Pope is definitely starting to pick up slack here now with more infantry, and he's starting to hit those car points faster. We also got a mortar, that's an excellent addition here for Pope, though Panther Squad would also be a nice addition, or a Jaeger command squad that's close to that one. No upgrades for the Grenadiers, but certainly some firepower right now for them would be an excellent idea. And we've got D for the Fleas. We'll have to fight a bit more on the foot here, on the move, I mean, versus Theodosios. I'm obviously going to fight on their feet no matter what. It's not exactly, you know, the wheelchair division. Molotovs against the Grenadiers. Going to the section there, pushing in forwards for Deutschland. G for the free upgrade almost done. We also got Flammevs, which is a nice upgrade here. That said, it's man definitely takes some heavy hits here from Theodosios here and there. Carpon recaptured, but could be claimed back here by the German infantry if they launch a attack. We got the mortar moving up here for Pope. Western fuel pond cut off here. G for the free gun is doing what can to the raid section. A lot of back and forth action, lots of smooth, aggressive movements here. Still no sign of upgrades. Again, I am definitely starting to get the impression, yup, that's going to be a 7-minute company command post. Partly, again, British just have cheaper, more faster tech in a sense, but also in this case, there's the other big part. It's just like, you know, again, Crossroads, both winter and summer, has more resources on average and yet good map control, so him rushing ahead for that is very achievable for the British. Very achievable. So yeah, that was some rapid tech here from Theodosios against Pope. Pope definitely needs to pick up the pace here in terms of taking, of course, resource control here versus Theodosios. Not that Theodosios, of course, is making that easy, but it's going to need to make the effort anyways. Because of this rate, Theodosios will be able to go for a very fast Cromwell or Centaur, and again, Pope doesn't even have a lighter mechanized company up for a pack, so... And there's a very good chance of wipe here in Pope's Grenadiers. That said, Pope does have victory point leader of Theodosios, so he's got that going for him. No weapon racks yet. Again, he is absolutely pushing for those tanks first, which, honestly, again, I can't blame him for. We do have a Jaeger command squad pushing up to 5 in squad here versus his opponent's 4. That's definitely going to help Pope a bit here. Jaeger command squad's in the section, and there we go. Tang apart with the G for the fees up close. The raid section could actually get wiped out here if Theodosios is a bit unlucky, and Pope is a bit lucky enough. Doesn't happen though. We got artillery fire in the center. He needs to retreat. That mortar gets silenced by the British 25-pounder guns. Close call there, and Pope is still so caught up in the crowd finding. Again, he is absolutely not concerning what's going on there, and again has not prepared for anti-tank guns, even rushed up in tech here.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Section they're reinforcing. Nothing further going on there for Pope yet. Going for the carp one at least. Thumbs up to that. Grabbing the centre, moving to the western victory point. We got now 2 Grenadier squads equipped with the Gewehr 43. We got Jaeger command across the raid section here. Gun unmapping hold force here by Pope. Don't need to suppress, need to retreat. Still slow signing on Theodosios' income just a bit. Let's got the western victory point here.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
Mortar at it. Bit of smoke being employed in the east. Not a bad idea at all. Thumbs up to Pope. Consistent usage of that. It's nice to see sappers of Theodosios. And like he could go for the centaur right now. I mean, considering everything, he would be, I think, very rewarded for that. But going for the Cromwell is obviously not a bad idea either. But I feel like the centaur would give him a bit more of a shock element here versus Pope, and possibly just, you know, threaten to close the match out fast. We do get Pope, people that like to make a nice company, realizing he's far away from tanks, and you know his opponent might just rush out some tanks against him. So very wise decision there. Raid section they're going to use here. Maxia Molotov, yes indeed, we've got a steel hand grenade off new turn. Need to push in that calf point if possible. Need to again to slow down the British war machine here. And there you go, Cromwell is halfway down here for Theodosios and the 11th for the Guards Armoured. West side we got Grenadiers with the raid section there. Cromwell almost done with Theodosios. Almost. Comes round the sappers. Pioneers advancing. Straight into the Vickers machine gun. Closer veterans one on this piece of durable World War I equipment. And got the rather splendid Cromwell out of Theodosios. Definitely threatening to do very naughty things to Pope now. But again, it's worth noting, doesn't have anti-tank gun, but at least he now has to like to make a nice company and the manpower for the anti-tank gun. And I imagine his priority, as soon as he sees that Cromwell and does up an armsman, he's going to be pulling that Pack 40. And because he does have the anti-tank gun production built in, it's not going to take too long for it to get out. But even then, it's not a great position for Pope to be in. It is not great at all. Still, the amount of infantry does have largely to affect the battlefield a bit more aggressively versus Theodosios, but the Cromwell is going to be a significant thorn in his backside, to put it very gently. And this SWAT need to retreat out here. Need to get the machine of the mortar out there as well. The Pack 40 has arrived, but as you might notice, going to take a bit of a while to hit around the centre. No ambush camouflage here for Pope. May want to effectuate that a bit faster. West side there, we got it going to around the point section to move here. Full 3 raid sections. Will he go for the weapon racks just out the Vickers K's now, or is just not something within the consideration of Theodosios here versus Pope? I mean, that is possible. But for now, Pope's priority should be Aegis, you know, dealing, you know, keeping alive and then pushing out some army here versus Theodosios. Maybe try and see if we can't get some white, but I was ensure that Theodosios doesn't snowball him with too many tanks either. He's got close right with a Cromwell, Mark IV cruiser tank. Around the eastern point of the sections. Going up here with Pioneers, Jaeger command squad on the pack.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Got hit by the Pack 40 on the Cromwell. Got infantry in the centre movement as well. East side here section, sappers ground points away, the MU-42 tearing into the British inside the building, and the Pack Cromwell's roaming about here, forcing Pope to like basically play catch with it, or tag. But otherwise again, his priority should be getting out some armour and just, you know, dunking his opponent over the head with that, if possible. One mortified there. In the west, German infantry advance against the raid section there. Grenadiers moving forward for the glory of Deutschland through the snow. Routed in the east. Mortar at it again. Hit 2 kills, close veterans 1. No artillery yet here for Theodosios. Also, not really much of his command. I mean, he's just used it for the raid section. We haven't seen command vehicles or air resupply operations or forward observation posts. Admittedly, that one is always a bit more, you know, yeah. Trophy enforcing. But again, needs to prioritise taking up. He needs those panzers here versus Theodosios. Absolutely needs those panzers. No mistake about that. I mean, we've got more sappers here for Theodosios to help repair his tanks, and possibly also help further sweep for German mines, since obviously a Telemann in the right place could absolutely, you know, put a dent in Theodosios' plans against a Pope and the 116th Panzerdivision Windhund. There we go, Weapon Max and the Vickers K they hand out to the men. The Vickers K, I believe, was modified from a aircraft machine gun and then used, you know, in light vehicles and some commander units. Grenade off there. Grenade there. And a quick return Molotov here on the Grenadiers. So I imagine once Theodosios gets more munitions, we'll be seeing more of the raid sections being equipped with double Vickers Ks for a heavy amount of firepower in his infantry. Probably also one reason he went for the upgrade. Like, you can get a lot of Vickers Ks, which is obviously really good. Something about there. Grenadiers need to retreat here. Pack ready, another one. No tech yet for Pope. And I can understand the pressure wanting to tank them before taking up. At the same time, I still feel like the priority should be on tech and then pushing out for armor faster. Like, you know, say getting out of Stug faster. I think we're doing a lot more good in pressuring Theodosios' armor. That, of course, is just my opinion. Still, Pope has managed to stabilize fairly well despite the lack of tanks. Partly of this thing is Theodosios not really like launching proper attacks with the tanks combined with the infantry. Plus, in this regard, actually going for the resupply rate for a mortar would, I think, be a great help for Theodosios in further supporting more aggressive attacks here versus Pope. That said, of course, just going for more tanks would also help. In fact, there we go. Another Cromwell for Theodosios. Pope still should take up. He's got 300 fuel. Like, he's actually got a lot of fuel there. But he's not really, like, pushing towards armor fast enough to, like, really leverage that versus Theodosios at the moment. So I think there's a bit of oversight there. Prince being attacked by the section in the centre. Raid section coming fire here. Only down to 1 minute. Got a Stielhandgranate there. Oh, he didn't move. Losing Paul Hammond. Pioneers with the sappers. He's trained to mine, losing Friedrich and Jürgen. West side MD42 was the section there. And a wipe on Pope and the German army. Got a Telemann bar down there from Pope. Thumbs up. The Telemina. No tech yet. MD42 with the raid section. They're setting up as well. In the centre there we got the raid section holding up 11 kills with half 8 of its in the fleet. Machine gun almost wiped out there by Theodosios' attackers. Still no tech for Pope. Crumbling up the strength line of that pack 40. Heavy fighting around the western Carpon, of course, looks to reclaim that from the British. Very sensible. Still no tech from Pope. Less sensible. Ooh, close to getting wiped there. So close. Yet so far. Would have been great here for putting a landed wipe here on Theodosios and his raid section, particularly just to avoid more Vickers Ks to snowball him. Going to the Vickers here. Machine gun, yeah, Vickers. Mortar moving up here, 2 kills. Very close to one here, though, reconnecting the western field point, and he is finally taking up. Fairly late take here for Pope. Fairly late, obviously part pressure, part aggression, but even then I feel like he could have made some slightly more optimal decisions, like again not going for that second pack 40, instead just deciding to push for faster tanks here. At least thrashing out some Stugs. Cromwell falling back here, Sappers on the move. Nothing further transpiring here in Theodosios' base. Could plan maybe hammer or anvil tactics. Go for something a bit bigger than Cromwell's, or he could just keep adding Cromwell's. Get the quad here. Tech down there for Pope finally. Need to get the support armor core up schnell. In the centre there, Pioneers into the big escape building section, but there you go, flanked and overwhelmed. They are forced to retreat here, but still, Pope should be having those Pioneers back at his base, setting up that support armor core. Raid section caught here by the Jaeger command squad, close to 82 Cromwell shoots, obliterates Hans-Jürgen. Finishes the section there. 82, there we go, down to 3 men, forced retreat. We do get a artillery strike called in here by Theodosios to further mess up here Pope's positions. Cromwell in the east here, snaking a few shots at the pioneers. There you go, Pack 40 in a position to actually do something. Get 295 to 398. Then he's reinforcing healing. Grenades exchange here. Oh, close one there, but Theodosios narrowly managed to move a bit forward to the avoid both the grenade and the mortar. Crom there taking a few hits here, but it's fire continuing down, mostly avoiding their post positions. And we get hammer attacks here for Theodosios. Could mean a crocodile, could also mean comets. Both, I think, are very valid options here for Theodosios to pursue versus Pope. Admitted the comet is going to be a bit faster to get out going here and less of an economic like in a drawdown. Full wipe there with a Stillhandgranate on Theodosios' raid section. Small relief here for Pope then at least, as one infantry section snuffed out, and it was not knowing that it was a Vickers K wielding one. The only way this could have been better for Pope to actually drop some light machine gun for him to grab. And the only way it could have been worse for Theodosios, obviously. Good lord! Harrier squad has been wiped out! Oh no! They at least not drop the machine guns. The machine guns have been destroyed. Thank heavens. I can sleep all right at night. And they're going to tank strafe. I feel like though in this case he might have been a bit optimistic about stopping that tank. Then range. Ultimately careful about not setting off that mine. That said, if you can bait the Cromwell into the mine, that would be pretty great here, but no. So yeah, there ends up being a bit of a whiff. Still no support core. That is really not great timing there for Pope. Where are those pioneers? They're busy there. They should be busy setting up the support core. I could by now like a Panzer IV out or a Stug, maybe even 2 Stugs. I definitely feel like this is like a significant gap here in Pope's strategy right now. I mean, it's all playing quite well, but just I think in terms of like overall strategy, there is a rather big Panzer-shaped gap here, which I think may play unfair for the Theodosios. There you go. We actually get the resupply drop, healing, but crucially, mortars and an anti-tank gun. That could spell problems here for Pope. You start using that mortar efficiently versus Pope. So, really need to get that Panzerwaffe going there soon here. Fix up the Cromwell. Thumbs up to that. So we'll have to see if we lost next game. Will it be the Comet or we'll try and go for the Crocodile? Yeah, both are effective options here, but wait. Almost looked like he just spent the entire section on that. To crew the anti-tank gun. East side here we got the green shouting portrait into the Vickers with no smoke support. They are pretty much doomed not to make much progress. And will be beaten back with heavy casualties to follow. Crom racing in there as well. Finally building that support core. 22, almost 23 minutes. Definitely what I call a bit inefficient there by Pope. Perhaps a bit harsh, but again, despite doing so well on the are there many other fronts just in the face of this? And again, you have to commend him that. For lack of, like, you know, a proper armor strategy to back it all up, I definitely feel like it's a bit of a downside here for Pope so far. But there you go, push forward against the raid section here with the G33s, tearing into those verdammte Inselhafen, leaving them dead in the snow. Great hit from the Cromwell though, and we got a Panzer IV for Pope finally. Some armor, and he can still have plenty of fuel for more armor. We got 272 versus 370, and Pope still has a nice victory upon Lido Theodosios here as well. Ooh, that's some pretty good mortar targets there, if anything. Got the British mortar there firing back as well. Apparently someone's got a minesweeper part of it as well. I couldn't you just drop the minesweeper? No, it's precious to me. I have memories with it. Memories? With a minesweeper? Those were some lonesome nights in Tunisia, you know. Shut up. Finish going there. Nice sprint here by Pope. Thumbs up. Panzerkampfwagen 4 is ready. Got it from the Pack 40 in the Cromwell. Panzer IV rolling hit. They should add the Penmark machine gun for sure. Closing in on the Comet here for Theodosios. In fact, he's seconds away from being able to call in one. Of course, again, he made the plan in the Cromwell, which Again, wouldn't be an awful choice either. So what is it here for Theodosios? What will it be? Raid sections advancing. Good hit from the Cromlech and is retreating. Heavy artillery fire here, devastating in the centre there. Panther it's getting flanked by the Cromwell. Almost knocked out. That's going to be a good blow here from Theodosios and Pope. And there you go. Panther down. We got artillery or air support called in here, but once more. Looks to be hitting a bit too late here for Pope. Definitely a tricky ability like to land correctly. I definitely don't envy trying to like hit those British tanks with it. But now Pope has suffered heavy losses. Then just, you know, 2 gunnery squad to your command squad. His tank is gone. His packs are being wiped out as well there. Losses are piling up here for Pope and the 1 and 16th Panzer Division here in the deep snows of the Ardennes. Raid section almost wiped out. Numerous Englishmen dead in the snow. Fix up the Cromwell here, going in the centre with the MD-42, still in ambush camouflage. MD-42 with Vickers here. Pops into RPF rounds, not bad, but sadly a bit too late here. Need to get the gunnies into assist somehow, I think. No assistance there. Cromwell's firing away, smoke deployed. Panther 4 more here for Pope. Mortar there, laying down hits some named more Vickers. Need to get the gunners up there still. We got 266 with 353. Panther 4 almost done. Parney sending out to the west. Minesburg kicks them away. That was also missed by a loss I missed earlier. And all of that fighting. Now the Panther 4 still has plenty of fuel. Cromlech engaging the Grenadiers. Good shot there. Kinda, I guess, if you squint a bit. Pack returns the favour. The punches cleanly through the Cromwell's frontal armour. Panther fast off here. Mortar landing awfully close. Anti-tank is straight on the Panther 4. Another hit there. Looking a bit rough there. Go pack crew being assailed here by Theodosios' regular section back the Cromwell. Pack crew exterminated here as Theodosios keeps pressuring here at Pope. The pressure is intense here as Theodosios launches attack after attack here on the Germans. Western Make being seized here. Keeps bleeding out here, Theodosios. Very good focus there, but now at the 27, almost 20 mark, Theodosios can call in the Crocodile. And yeah, gonna call it in. Artillery further disrupting opposed positions. Consistent, rapid attacks with Theodosios is making things very difficult for Pope to like stabilize with. And there's the Crocodile. He's gonna need Stoogs. Like, the packs are gonna get burned alive by it, and the Panther 4s can't consistently deal enough damage fast enough. There's no other way out now for Pope than Stoogs. At the same time, it's still not going to be easy because there's going to be like possibly multiple anti-tank guns here to back up the Crocodile plus the Cromwells. So it's going to be a tough challenge here for Pope now. Telemine, they almost got it. Moving in, the packs to finish off. It's going to be a small win here for Pope in the otherwise unforgiving snow. And a very unforgiving match here for sure. Got the Cromwell, but there you go. Crocodile strikes with his flamethrower, belting forth. Intense fires here upon the German pack crews. A horrifying situation for Pope being there. Going for the Stoogs. Right after those pack crews are utterly incinerated. Except for Fritz and Jürgen there who just run off. Destroying the anti-tank guns. He obviously doesn't need any of that. Almost got it. Fixing the Panther 4. Attacking straight here at Pope's base. Theodosios notices strike when the iron is hot, or in this case, straightly on fire. Most of the map now falling under British control here as Pope just lacks a way to stop this British behemoth. This incendiary land ship that is barging his way through his entire base complex. Stug rushing in, they shoot. Unfortunately, bounces sidearm exposed this time around. Another bounce from the Stu. That is pretty lucky there for Theodosios. There we go. Penetrating hit here. Need support there for the Stu. And lost MD42. The casualties are just escalating here for Pope versus Theodosios. Yeah, command squad then going to doing what they can here versus Theodosios slaughtering the British. Closer to getting wiped from the sappers, but does look like they fall a bit short, and then that's just another waste of one there. Honestly, it'd be better off just using that light artillery barrage. It's just more telemines, honestly. Definitely, I think another slight flaw here in Pope's play this match. But again, he's still got plenty of fuel, so he can just play smartly. You know, stall for time. He can still bring out a lot of armor and maybe overwhelm Theodosios with a really smart attack. But that said, it's still going to be a bit of a tall order here, but not impossible. Not impossible. It'd be a much bigger issue if he didn't have much fuel right now. But still, he's got 200 fuel. So that's still like, say, a bunch of Stukes and Panzer IV more he could go for to like at least launch something approaching a fairly aggressive attack on Theodosios. But he has to get aggressive. Like, he has to hit him from an angle he doesn't expect and deal a lot of damage very fast, like crucial units like getting rid of the anti-tank gun and then isolating the Crocodile. I think he can do that and maybe combine with some artillery there. He has a shot. Second Stug there for Pope. Definitely going to be necessary with more Stugs. I also think he needs to focus more on the west rather than the east. It's not particularly great fighting ground to be in. I think the west here would open up much better paths to attack here on Theodosios. It would be much harder for Theodosios to bottle up Pope in. But no, it does look like Pope is unfortunately coming towards the east here. Like a bad habit. Second Stug almost done there for Pope though. Great hit from the Panda, almost wiping the entire raid section. Vickers K left behind as well here. And down he goes. Great kill here for Pope. Still has a long way to go, but that certainly gives him slightly more wiggle room here versus the British. And Theodosios is quick to replace the lost section. Going to bring up, they're going to try and grab that Vickers K.
We have 300 points remaining.
Finishing from the Cromwell. Stu Panther on the move. 6-pounder gun ready, and the other one has also been crewed up finally. Crocodile attacking, Stu shoots, flanking with the Crocodile, need the other two to engage. Schnell. There we go, 2 hits on the Crocodile. But his Stu's taking a lot of damage here. Meanwhile, got Theodosios just squeezing Pope here. Crocodile there reaching Veterans U1. Jaeger command's got banging the 6-pounder gun until if I called in here trying to silence it. Almost there, but not quite big as being machine gun. Meanwhile, suppressing the Jaeger command squad. Crocodile and Cromwell falling back here. Not wishing to tangle more with Pope here. Graham leads the victory point. We got 270 to 286. With only 1 Pioneer squad though, and a lot of armed repair, it's going to be quite the chance to get all this going again here for Pope, honestly. And the casualties are back to piling up here for Pope versus Theodosios. Panther rolling forwards here, about to get knocked out, I think, by the anti-tank gun, and pop goes the Weasel, leaving just 2 Stugs and 3 infantry squads. Things just got a lot tougher for Pope. Again, I don't think he chose the right battleground here against Theodosios either. Destroying the machine gun, good move there by Pope. For Theodosios, I mean, not by Pope, obviously. What's going to do here with the G45 against raid section. Taking a lot of damage in the process. Stug moving into assist, I guess. Conan reach specially free, very good there. Chrome engaging, Crocodile being repaired. Now the raid section out here, immediately ending the Vickers K upgrade, thumbs up. Stu does gain Veterans U1, opens up for the heat shell, which is going to be handy versus the Crocodile. The problem is just all the anti-tank guns, and you know the lack of much else for Pope at the moment. He's going for another Panther 4 here, but he keeps committing to this area where like just Theodosios got it locked down. The problem is it's not like he's finding over like battleground, it's not like it's more refuel for him. Almost lost the Stug here, and narrowly escapes here the wrath of Theodosios gunners. Stug going up against the Crocodile. There we go, heat shells, but he's not so little munition, doesn't like not to use it there. Also, Panda used the heat shells in the other Stug. There gun is routed. Panther's almost done. Pope is being increasingly just pushed back into his base here. His attack is becoming also less and less effective. As Theodosios is increasingly well attacked, and the problem is Pope is attacking into these well-prepared positions head-on. Both Dukes getting wretched too, but one of them combusts. Unfortunately here for Pope, but great for Theodosios. And there you go, GG game here for Pope. A loss here for the German army, a victory for the British. A fierce fight here in the snow in the end though. Pope, I definitely think, again, handled the infantry side quite well, but the later part of his strategy and the part of the armour definitely came much, much too late here versus Theodosios, and I think gave Theodosios all the time he needed to then build up a state of advantage to which crash and Pope under. So definitely some issues there, but I would say a nice fight here by Theodosios as well. I mean, nice to see some raid sections showing they can be quite powerful in the right hands. Thumbs up to that. So I hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell friends, tell the family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Link saying cheers. Thank you for watching. Until tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.